The problem with sovereign citizens and strawmen is they operate in an echo chamber. Each reads a little bit of law, misunderstands it, misapplies it, and then tells it to each other in Facebook groups, each believing that they've done their own research, and before you know where you are. Well, take this for example. This letter to an energy company claims to use actual law to help you stop paying them. And when you try to point out that this is unlikely, they tell you to wake up, stop being a sheep, or that you need to lose the fear. So let's go through this letter and objectively assess the claims made. Now, if you want this letter to work, so do I. But let's try and be neutral. It opens with a request for proof that the energy broker is supplying energy. But brokers don't generally supply energy themselves. They help arrange contracts with actual suppliers. So asking a broker to prove they're supplying energy fundamentally misunderstands their role. It then cites the Electricity Act 1989 and the Gas Act 1986. These laws govern the supply of electricity and gas in the UK, but they don't require suppliers to provide the level of detailed evidence demanded here as a condition for payment. The request for a copy of the supply contract, detailed metering information and other evidence isn't entirely unreasonable in theory, but the way it's framed implies that the supplier is in breach until they comply. This is simply a hashtag straw bore fantasy. The letter claims the right to withhold payments under the Electricity and Gas General Conditions of Supply Regulations 2002. Again, these regulations ensure fair billing and transparency, but they don't grant an automatic right to stop paying while documentation is being gathered. Overall, letters like this rely on a misunderstanding of energy regulations in the UK. The letter mixes legitimate references to consumer protections with misinterpretations of their implications. It obviously seems appealing to send a letter like this in the hopes of slowing down payment demands, but in reality, it's more likely just to create additional stress, including possible legal or financial consequences. If the money you would send for a template like this is going to be a problem for you, just think it through. Why is it you've never heard about this on the money-saving expert Martin Lewis program? Why has there never been an advert from a solicitor for this? As always, you spend your money as an adult how you want. My sole and only reason for making these videos is to try and keep vulnerable people who are desperate enough to not consider the reality out of trouble.